When you're representing yourself, one of the most important tasks that you're going to have is to effectively communicate with the attorney who's representing the other party. Oftentimes, a non-lawyer panics, they get nervous, they're talking to an attorney, and they don't present themselves or their case in the proper manner. Remember, it's really important how you present yourself, your case, and the facts surrounding your claim to the other side. And today, we're going to talk a little bit about what you need to know and do when communicating with an attorney. Let's face it, nobody likes talking to an attorney, especially when that attorney is representing your adversary in a case where you're representing yourself. You know, it can be intimidating, it can be overwhelming, but if you pay attention to the few tips that we're going to talk about today, I think you're going to be in a much better position, and you're going to overcome any perceived advantage that the attorney believes he or she has over you because you are representing yourself. You know, I hate to say it, but oftentimes an attorney who's up against a pro se litigant, or in other words, a party that's representing themselves without an attorney, they feel that they've got this advantage because they know the law, they know the procedure, they know how it works, and they know that they can take advantage of you. I don't want that to happen. And I think that one of the most important tools that you can learn is how to effectively communicate with an attorney right from the beginning. Set the tone. Let that attorney on the other side know that yes, while you're not a lawyer, you certainly know what you're doing, and you're not going to be overwhelmed, you're not going to be emotional and angry, you're going to be to the point, direct, and very effective. You need to be clear, you need to be concise, and you need to make your point. Attorneys, generally speaking, have a limited amount of patience. They want to know the facts. They want to know the facts of your case. They want to know what you want. They don't want to hear about all of the events that led up to the incident. They don't want to know what you ate for dinner last night. They don't want to know that you've got a lot of kids and things are tough. They don't care, because your case is one of hundreds that they may have in front of them. Be clear, be concise, and make your point. If your case is about a breach of contract claim, tell the attorney, I'm suing your client because we had a contract, he did not fulfill his obligations, or he didn't pay me per the contract, and I want to recover the money that he didn't pay me, plus interest and any fees or costs that I can get. That's a clear, deliberate explanation. That makes sense. An attorney hears that and says, all right, I understand what the claim is. Now I'm able to communicate to my client what I think he or she should do and what sort of position I think that they're in. Sometimes when you call an attorney and you babble on and on, the attorney loses what it is you're calling for. He doesn't understand what your claim is, and he looks at you as being confused and disorganized, and that is another telltale sign that he might have an advantage over you. Because in order to succeed in law, you need to be deliberate and organized. So when you babble, he knows he's got an advantage. So what I want you to do is to think before you make that call. Organize your thoughts so that when you do get on the phone, you are clear, you are concise, and you make your point. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of the attorney. They don't have magical powers. They don't know how to use the force. They can't control what you do. They can't influence the judge. They're people, just like you. The only difference is that they have had training and experience. You're going to get your experience by doing it right now. And then you're going to be in a much better position. You're going to have more knowledge than you did when you first started this journey. But don't be intimidated. Understand that they're going to want to intimidate you because they want you to drop your case. They want you to go away. And if you're the defendant in a case, they want to intimidate you to the point where you do whatever it is that they're looking for you to do. Stop using a trademark. Maybe they want you to pay them something. They want to make you fearful of them so that you just give in. Don't buy into that. Remember, they are not magical creatures. They don't have any other power beyond what you do. Next, I want you to understand the difference between hearing and listening. Oftentimes, we hear everything. We just don't listen to much. And in a case where you're dealing with an attorney, you have to listen to what he or she is saying. It's important because you want to understand what that attorney's client's position is. You want to listen and make notes. If that attorney is saying to you, my client doesn't think he owes you any money, because you want to know why he doesn't think he owes you any money. You don't want to get angry and upset and emotional about it. You want the facts. You've got to be like Sherlock Holmes. You've got to sit and listen to the facts. You've got to absorb them. And you can't do that if you are preparing the next thing you're going to say or talking over the attorney. Listen. I can't emphasize enough the importance of listening to what the attorney has to say. All right, you also need to take what that attorney tells you with a grain of salt. That attorney may be trying to intimidate you. He or she may say to you, your claim is bogus, you've got no cause of action, you're never going to win this case, you're crazy, you don't know what you're doing. All of these sorts of negative comments, but they're all geared really at trying to get you to drop your case. A lot of times you'll see a lot of overwhelmed or younger attorneys who will employ those tactics and try to shake you and get you to the point where you start to doubt whether or not you have a claim, and definitely whether or not you can handle this. Sometimes attorneys will come across as blustery and aggressive and overbearing simply as a tactic to make you run. You don't want to fall victim to that trick. So make sure that you take what they say with a grain of salt. Don't let what they say to you make you lose confidence in your case. Instead, go home, do the research, see if what they're telling you has any merit, and make the decision and judgment for yourself. Another important tip is that when you're done communicating with that attorney, memorialize the conversation. What I mean by that is put something in writing. Send them an email. Send them a letter. It doesn't need to be the Gettysburg Address. It just simply needs to memorialize the fact that you had a conversation. Dear Mr. Smith, this will memorialize our telephone conversation of today, wherein you told me to go to hell because my case sucks. You memorialize that. You've got a record of that. And obviously you can use that later. And you can also show it to him when you win your case, and you can make him eat his own words. All right, finally, I just want to tell you that you can do this. You absolutely can do it. I know you can. All of the people who have watched these videos and who have gone out and employed some of what they've learned, they'll call up and they'll say, I can't believe it, I did it. And it's so amazing to hear that from people like you who didn't have any legal experience. You watched UTL radio videos, maybe you listened to a podcast, maybe you read something on the website, and you had enough confidence and courage to go out and handle a matter on your own. You can do this. You just need to remember these tips. You need to make sure that you're calm, that you're not overly emotional, and that you effectively communicate to the attorney. You're going to be just fine. I know you can do it. All right, that's going to do it for today. If you have questions, as always, you can always contact me. You can find links to all of our social media, videos, podcasts, contact information over at utlradio.com. If you want to email me directly, do so at pl@utlradio.com. I'll also post a link to the telephone number in the video notes in case you want to give a call. Good luck. I know you can do it. Be strong, be courageous, and be relentless. See you next time.